Please tell us how Summer Madness came about.
I'm one of those dreadful Londoners that has a second house on the Isle of Wight. Although I must say I prefer it here and I hate it in London now. I'd like to come here and not go back again. And being in the music business in London, I was sort of, I have to say, slightly jealous that John Giddings reactivated the Isle of Wight Festival, and also the Festival came along, because I must admit nobody thought Festival would happen, be a successful event insofar as there was already the Isle of Wight event. But over 5 or 6 years, they made it a very successful, small boutique event. Anyway, so I was looking for my own event, but I couldn't really find a site. And then one day, by chance, I went to the farm, local farm here, and then I spotted these 2 fields and thought it would be a great place for a small event. Approached English Heritage, who look after and own, or whatever you want to call it, the Carisbrooke Castle, who then said to me, well, actually, we don't own the 2 fields, the local farmer owns them, and his name is Stuart. And I suddenly thought, God, I know him really well, and approached him, and he said, yeah, fine. But he said, I'll rent you the fields, but the rest of it is your problem, i.e. the licensing and traffic management. But I had to approach the council. Firstly, they decide whether you're capable of doing it or not, experience-wise, and they check into your background and previous experience. I've got a chap that works for me called John Marsh, who's a licensing expert. He understands the forms you have to fill in, the language you have to talk. And we just approached the council. They initially weren't very interested because, in their opinion, this is not the right site for any sort of event. But we explained to them that it was going to be a small event, 10, 12,000 people. And they said, as long as you keep it to that amount, capacity, then fine. We put together our plans, and we put a traffic management plan into place. Obviously operated it last year, and it worked. The council were happy. We have no complaints from them over anything, traffic management, sound, or lateness of sound, or catering, or bars, or anything. They were very happy. And I think this year we can, now we have the template from last year, I think we can improve on that and make it better and better and better over the years. It's all to do with experience. You've got to have a basic plan if you're doing an outdoor event, and a general concept for the people. And what I've noticed with a lot of the other events that happen, be it Reading Festival or Isle of Wight Festival or any of the other events that happen in England, is that, in my opinion, there's too many bands on too many stages. And so you have this in the advertising, 50 bands across 3 stages. And to be honest with you, I don't think that many people are that interested in 50 bands across 3 stages. And secondly, my other concept about this event is I was going for an older age group audience. So my target audience is about 30 to 60 or older, or younger if they want to turn up. And I really don't, and I've questioned a few people that came last year. And they all said we just want to see the headliner and maybe a couple of the other bands, and we want to turn up at 4 o'clock, watch a couple of bands, watch the headliner, have a few drinks, go home. So I thought, oh, I was right then. So that's the concept. 7 or 8 bands, 1 stage, make it not brief, but make it easy to understand and accept, and to know that there's a running time and that's it, leading up to the headliner who will go on at 9 and come off at 10:30. And I think simple is sweet, to be honest with you, and a lot of the other events are too complicated with too many bands, and who watches them anyway. The Isle of Wight, to a point, in my opinion, has become Festival Island over the last couple of years, with the advent of John Giddings and the Isle of Wight Festival, and then Festival, and we've had Wight Air for a while. I think a lot of people like the idea of the Isle of Wight, and the original Isle of Wight Festival of 40 years ago is still in some people's minds. I think people do think of music, festivals, events, and the Isle of Wight, and I know it's weird. The Isle of Wight's like its own little country, really. But I think it's very attractive especially bank holiday weekend, for people to come across for the weekend for a bit of music and a bit of, see the island. We always wanted to use whatever local businesses that were willing to support us. We've used Plaza ice cream from Cows. We've had one of their little pretty little truck selling ice cream. There's a baker in Newport. He baked a special pie last year and had a stall selling pies and cakes. That was really funny, actually. It went down well. It was that's a cute thing to do, really. And we had a very small farmers market on the site, which I think a lot of people liked. And then over and above that, obviously you had the bars and the normal food units. But we tried to bring in different food units, although none of the food units, I don't think any of them came from the island. They all came from the mainland. There's not too many people with catering units on the island, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's about it, really. In fact, we've had really good support from Red Funnel and White Link, but it's a two-way love affair, that, because they want to sell a ticket and a nice ferry fare, which I don't blame them. But it's a good package, actually. Nearly 95% of the labour was local labour. Stage hands, guys putting up fences, moving loos around, etc. All the loos was locally sourced. Because there's now quite a lot of equipment on the island with the Isle of Wight Festival and Festival. There is now a lot of equipment actually stationary on the island, because one of the fallbacks of the Isle of Wight is the fact it costs a fortune for a large Arctic to go on a ferry or a coach, or any trailers or anything costs a lot of money, although we do get a discount from both companies, which is helpful. This year the county press have come in, they've been extra supportive, and so we've done a deal with them with a nice competition for free tickets. They're giving us a slight discount on ads and things, so that's useful. But they're a good paper, we like them. In fact, the editor and the main music journalist came to the event, thought it was fabulous, and now they assure us they're on our side. We're running from about 2 to 10:30 and we'll finish on time like we did last year.
So do you think there's room for more events on the island?
Not really, I think we're there, really. Okay. Maybe something small. I went to a small event at the Botanical Gardens last weekend, which was a jazz concert with Courtney Pine. And that was quite good. The site was fabulous, about 1,500 people. I don't know if the promoters made money, hopefully they did, but that would be a good place. We've got to be more careful with trees and hedges and hedgerows and the land generally. And obviously there are lots of people that utilise that particular point when they're objecting to us doing the event that we do. But I mean, for instance, if you look at this field now, there's not one scrap of rubbish on this field. From last year, and we had a team that went through here with a fine tooth comb and picked up every single piece of rubbish or every glass, cup, spoon. Personally, I think this is the prettiest site of the three events of the Isle of Wight Festival and us. I think this is the prettiest site. Although the original Isle of Wight Festival site probably beats us hands down. If you're going to set up an event, you have to have done your apprenticeship, and basically I think you need 20 years of experience before you even try to do a major outdoor event. I mean, it's two things. It's what you know and who you know, but hands-on experience is what you really need. If this is successful with Paul Weller on the 29th of August, we're hoping to continue for the next 4 or 5 years. We'd like to make it a 2-day event, only because it costs so much to set the event up, staging and fencing and generators, PA lights, etc. It would just really half the cost if we could do a 2-day event. The council have said possibly, if this year goes according to plan, then they might consider a 2-day event. And the other thing is, we've got a built-in audience, which is fantastic, because Bank Holiday weekend is the big scooter rally, which apparently is the biggest rally in the world, which I didn't realise. 6,000 scooters and between 8,000 and 10,000 people, which is a lot of people coming to the mainland. That's good for the island, isn't it? I think you've got people that are already here on holiday, and I think people do actually specifically come for the Bank Holiday weekend for this event, and maybe the scooter event and go back again. But there was a lot of residents here last year. I got to know a whole load of people that live on the island that came and enjoyed it and said they're coming back next year, i.e. this year. So that's good.